Good morning everyone. Welcome to Standard 10 Commercial Applications class. All this while we have been discussing about advertisements. Okay, and today we will conclude the chapter discussing about the essentials of a good advertisement. So far we have learned what is advertisement, the features have been discussed. We have also discussed the benefits of advertising for producers, consumers and the society at large. Okay, and in the last video we discussed the criticisms, the grounds on which advertising has been criticized. And today we are going to continue with the essentials of good advertisements. Now technically advertisements are known as ad copies or advertising copies, and these advertising copies are drafted by creative people who are commercial artists, and they are called as the copywriters. Now when the copywriters are drafting these advertising copies, now today we have advertising agencies to cater to the needs of the producers. Okay, it was not like in the yesterwhile years, that is in the 60s and all, companies had a small section of advertising in their marketing departments, and these copywriters were employed in that section to do the needful. Alright, now when a copywriter is drafting an advertising copy, he needs to bear certain essentials of good advertisement in mind. Okay, so the advertisement copy should be as per, okay, it should be according to these values. Okay, it has to be designed according to these values. First is the attention value. The advertisement copy that is drafted, it should look impressive. It should have the capability of attracting or drawing the attention of the consumer. Alright, now what can be done? Okay, what measures do they take to enhance this attention value? First and foremost, using catchy but short headlines. Okay, like how we have Eat Healthy, Think Better, Britannia. Okay, Taste the Thunder, thumbs up, Ye Dil Mange More, Pepsi. Okay, so all these short but catchy lines, they tend to add the attention value to the advertisement. Then using beautiful pictures and drawings of the product, that also can help to add to the attention value. Then the copywriters also sometimes make use of questions. Okay, they put questions like boy se nahaya kya. Okay, so that helps to develop an attitude for personal hygiene, isn't it? Okay, so that's how they can enhance the attention value, by putting a question. Then by quoting the price, it really works miracles when the price is quoted, because people prefer commodities that are price effective. Okay, if the price is low, then people will flock to buy that commodity. Something which is any commodity that is used in day-to-day life. So quoting the price really makes a difference, and it makes the advertisement more conspicuous for the consumers. Then by inserting reply coupons for gifts or free literature. Okay, so you might have come across this that Hanko. Hanko is the detergent. So in Hanko, a couple of days back, they were inserting a coupon. So you had to just fill in the information, and you had to hand over the coupon to the seller. And then there were some benefits. Okay, you could redeem certain points and all that. Okay, so these are basically sales promotional techniques. Okay, So when the advertisement is claiming that there is a coupon in the product, okay, inserted in the product, then people will automatically buy the product. Okay, that will make the advertisement more persuasive for the consumers. And then using all these artistic borders and bright colors, bold types. So these are the measures which the copywriters usually take to enhance the attention value or make the advertisement more attractive for the consumers or for the viewers, whatever you may say. Then memorizing value, very, very important. Okay, now some advertisements have they really create an impact on our mind. We can memorize them. Alright, like washing powder Nirma. Okay, some advertisements are very, very entertaining. So we remember them. We can retain them for a very long period of time. So advertisements should be planned or drafted in that fashion, so that people will remember it. Okay, Okay, we'll remember it for umpteen number of years, like washing powder Nirma, that jingle. So that is why they make those jingles. Alright, so some jingles are very catchy, they are very entertaining, and they leave an impact on our mind, and sometimes we even hum them. Isn't it? So that increases the memorizing. The moment we start humming them, we remember the product, and it is also not only informative but also persuasive. Okay, so it persuades us to buy the product. Suggestive value. Advertisement copies, or when advertisements are drafted, alright, it should suggest the use of the product. Okay, like all these, we have this cosmetics being advertised, or else, beauty products, I mean to say, or else even your personal hygiene products like shampoos, okay, soaps, whatever, alright. Then even your edible oils also, cooking mediums, okay, they are also advertisement. When they are advertised, they are suggesting something. Like, Head and Shoulders. What does Head and Shoulders shoulder suggest? The advertisement. That means it is, what it is trying to suggest that this product is meant to cure. If you have a problem of dandruff, okay, this will help you to cure your problem. Alright, now people have become very, very health conscious. So, we abstain from eating sugar, or we abstain from eating oil, or we consume less oil now. So again here we have Saffola. The tagline, the focus is that it takes care of your heart. So it doesn't matter, you can just eat oily food without any guilt. Alright, so that is suggestive value. Okay, I hope I have made myself clear to you. Then educative value. Of course, advertisements educate. We have already discussed that in the previous videos. I have already explained to you. So they have to be educative. They have to, advertisements should share all the important features. That they have to discuss. It has to highlight. Okay, it should highlight the important features of the product, the unusual features of the product, or the functions of the product. All the information should be furnished to the audience. Then sentimental value. Okay, they also have to, the copywriter should also make sure or ensure that they don't hurt the sentiments of the consumers or the viewers. It usually happens, like there are, we also have a code of conduct. Advertising Standard Code of India is already laid down, and as per the provisions of the code or the code of conduct, no producer can cause any disparage. Okay, disparage to any other product, or else they cannot they cannot hurt the sentiments of audience by criticizing criticizing them on the basis, or rather I would say they should not base the advertisement on communalism. All that thing should not be there. Okay, they have to be like they should just pass the message. Okay, they should only send the message, and it has to be a clear message without hurting anyone's sentiments. Alright, so that has to be taken into, so when they are making the jingles or making the, they are creating the message, this has to be borne in mind that it will not hurt anybody's religious sentiments or things like that. Okay, something connected with people's emotions here. Conviction value. Okay, every product, when there's advertisements are, it's a promotional technique. Okay, so the main aim of advertisement is to inform about the availability of the product and persuade people to buy that product, isn't it? So they have to be conviction value is what? Persuading. They have to persuade that yes, you have to buy this product, it is apt for you. So that is the conviction value. Then we have the instinctive appeal value. Now psychologists have identified certain human instinct. So advertisers are playing on those instincts, like self-preservation. Okay, during this COVID period, all of us are thinking of how to protect ourselves, isn't it? Okay, so we are trying to make use of all the items that are necessary for our protection. So masks, then we need sanitizers, we require gloves, all these items are purchased. Okay, even now, okay, at this period, when we are caught up in this kind of pandemic, during this pandemic period, you might have noticed that insurance companies, they are capitalizing on the situation, isn't it? Okay, so they know that this is a fatal disease, so they are capitalizing on it. So self-preservation, so they are playing. So insurance agencies or even the pharmaceuticals, okay, pharmaceutical companies, they can actually play on this human sentiment of self-preservation, because everyone wants to protect their lives. Okay, they want to preserve their I mean to say they are more concerned about their well-being. Fine. Hoarding. Banks, okay, banks or even insurance companies for that matter, they come up with schemes, different schemes. They offer schemes to their customers and encourage them to save or make provisions for their future, because future is unpredictable. All right, so hoarding, so they play on this instinct of hoarding. Then self-display. Okay, all of us want to look good. Okay, we want to look attractive, okay, impressive. So this is a human instinct that we have. Okay, so this human instinct, okay, like we have these products like the garments, for example, then you have your jewelry, cosmetics, okay, all these products, they try to play on the self-display instinct of human beings. Then parental instinct. Parents are always concerned about their kids. Now at this moment, okay, during this pandemic time, your parents don't want you to go out anywhere, isn't it? They are protecting you. They are concerned about your futures. So insurance policies, okay, insurance companies can play on this parental, this instinct of human beings. Okay, like they can convince the parents to purchase education policies. Then baby foods. Okay, anything that is any product which is concerned with kids, okay, which is meant for the kids to which kids can use, okay, such products can be, the producers of such products can play, or they can base their advertisement on the parental appeal value and something for nothing, free. That's exactly very impressive, and people really get attracted to such advertisements, isn't it? Alright, so these are some of the essentials of a good advertisement. Let's run through that before we proceed further. Okay, we said that a good advertisement should have attention value. That means it should be able to capture the attention of the consumer or the viewer. Okay, it should also have memorizing value, that means it should leave a long-lasting impact on the mind of the consumer. People should remember it for umpteen number of years. Okay. Then suggestive value, that is every advertisement must suggest the utility of the product, and it should educate the consumer about the unusual features of the product and the functions, okay, and the functions of the product. And advertising copies or advertisements should not hurt the sentiments, okay, sentiments of the users of the product or consumers of the product. Then they should be convincing, okay, they should persuade the consumers to purchase that commodity. And there are certain instinctive appeal with instincts, human instincts that are identified by psychologists. So most of the producers, depending on the type of commodity they have to afford, or that they have to offer to the consumers, they can play on that instinct. Alright, so this is all about the good essentials of a good advertisement. Now let's come to the theme. Okay, what do you mean by theme? Now theme basically is a central idea. So how we have theme parties. In the same way, advertisements are also based on certain themes. Alright, okay. So the first and foremost we have prestige. Okay, now prestige is one of the advertising theme. So commodities like all these high-end cars, or your mobiles or your laptops, okay, then your diamond jewelry, all the expensive things that are available. So the advertisements of such commodities can be based on this theme, which is prestige. Okay, comfort. Today, during the summer season, we cannot, in the yesteryear years, air conditioners were luxuries. Okay, it was considered or regarded as a luxury, but today it has become a comfort. Okay, it is like inevitable. We need it. We require it in our day-to-day life. So all these products, companies selling or manufacturing air conditioners, okay, or else they are what shall I say? The real estate agents, okay, or the construction companies. any product which can make our lives, even mattresses for that matter, okay, any product that can make our lives more comfortable, they should, those companies or those producers should base their advertisements on this theme called comfort. Then economy is like saving money. So anything like, for example, your consumer durable products or your FMCG products, especially the detergent powders or your cooking, their cooking mediums, they whenever they want to convey this message to the consumer that the price of the commodity of this commodity has been reduced, okay, there's a reduction in the price, they can base that advertisement on this theme, which is economy. Then beauty, all beauty products, cosmetics, okay, that can be, so those products can be based, the advertisement can be based on this theme of beauty. Parental affection is again your insurance policies, the education policies, or your baby foods. Then the kids wear, isn't it? So we like First Cry, for example, it's a Mahindra enterprise. So they are, that advertisement is based on parental affection, where the kid says that mama's gone bonkers, or mama's gone crazy. That means mamas love their kids and they want to give their kids the best. Alright, so that's parental affection here. There it is based on that. Health, again insurance policies, pharmaceutical products can be, or even your cooking mediums, oil like Saffola, I give an example, which clearly highlights that it safeguards your heart, it takes care or nurtures your heart. So even if you're eating oily food, you can eat without any guilt. Okay, so health, so this theme is apt for such products. Okay, your cooking medium, pharmaceutical products, your health drinks, isn't it? Okay, so they can be based on this theme. Health. Fear, that is self-preservation. We have just now discussed about that. All of us have this fear. Life is unpredictable. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Okay, but if at all we are dead and gone, what's going to happen to our family? That's the thought behind every householder. Okay, the head of the family. So here again, so this is a theme for insurance companies. Okay, they try to capitalize on this. Okay, they try to what shall I say? They try to they try to highlight. So I was not getting the word. Okay, they try to highlight on this particular aspect or this particular theme. Right? They base their advertisements on this particular theme. Achievements. There are companies who have come a long way. So they want to portray their achievements. They want to flaunt their achievements. So that is at that time, like Amul, the taste of India. So they have shown the whole story how Amul started, isn't it? So that's an achievement. So that advertisement was based on this theme, achievement and patriotism. There are so many products, like we have this Make in India mission. Okay, so the products that are being manufactured under this particular campaign or under this particular mission, they are advertised on this particular theme, which is patriotism. Alright, so these are the various themes on which advertisement copies or ad copies can be based on. Now let us come to advertising media. Okay, we have the advertising media. Then, now media is a channel. We know that advertising is a non-personal presentation, isn't it? Okay, so media it is a channel or it's a medium through which the producer conveys the message or transmits the message to the ultimate consumer. Now we have a press media. Now media can be bifurcated or subdivided into so many types. Okay, we have the print media or the press media, that is audio visual, murals, then direct mail. Alright, now under press media, we have newspapers, magazines, trade journals, yellow pages. Now let us talk about the advantages and the disadvantages or limitations of each one of them. Like newspapers, for example. Okay, what are the benefits of newspapers? Wide geographical coverage. Alright, newspapers are published locally and nationally. Okay, we also have regional newspapers. So the products that are widely used in that locality, okay, or the local area, or products that are in high demand, okay, at the national level or the regional level, can be the advertisements of such products can be printed in the newspapers depending on the demand. All right, like the goods that are locally produced and locally used by the people. It is futile publishing the advertisement on a region, on the what shall I say, on a national newspaper like Times of India and all. So for that we can use the producer can choose Sunaprant or any other local newspaper that is read. Alright, so wider geographical area, it covers a wider geographical area. There is more selectivity and more flexibility, because as I have just now told you, you have to first identify the nature of the product, how it is, where it is used. If it is locally produced and locally used, there is no point publishing it in the regional newspaper or the national newspaper. It has to be published. The advertisement should be printed in the local newspaper, so people read that local newspaper. Most of them, okay, because it is published in printed in the vernacular languages, isn't it? Okay, so that is selectivity. So you can select, okay, the producer can select accordingly, and flexibility in the sense they can keep changing the message every day if their finances permit, okay, or else it could be even weekly. They can change the message weekly. Now, frequency of repetition. If the finances permit, every week they can advertise, okay, they can advertise on newspapers. Alright, so repetition is possible, and it generates income. Okay, it generates income for the it generates income for the printing press. Alright, now again here there are limitations. Very short lifespan, extremely short lifespan. Because we read the newspapers because when we buy newspapers to read the news, okay, we are only looking out for the breaking news, and advertisements in the newspapers are not so impressive, or they are not so conspicuous that they will attract or appeal to the consumers. They are usually ignored, okay, we overlook them. We only read the breaking news, and that's it. It goes into the newspaper stack. Okay, so these advertisements have a very, very short lifespan, and there is no scope for art and color also, because usually the local newspapers that are printed here, they are black and white. Only some newspapers they provide this facility where advertisements are, they are color. They make use of color, okay, to print the advertisements, but they are much more expensive. Okay, but they are very expensive. Again, the quality of paper which the newspapers use, okay, it is very coarse, and the advertisements don't stand out. Okay, they don't look very impressive, and they are not conspicuous. All right, so that is one flaw. And as I have already said, that it is a source of income for the printing press, because when advertisements are printed, okay, in the newspapers, the cost is calculated, or they calculated on the basis of the space occupied by the advertisement and the number of words. Okay, so that is how they charge the producers, the space occupied by the advertisement and the number of words used. So this is how the charges are calculated. So these are the benefits and the limitations of newspapers. Magazines, for that matter, magazines and journals. Yes, magazines, the disadvantages of your newspapers, you can just convert them into advantages of magazines. Magazine advertisements are more impressive, they are more intriguing, okay, because there is lot of scope for art, there is lot of scope for color, because we have colored advertisements in the magazines. Okay, the paper, the texture of the paper is also very smooth, it's very glossy, so that helps the advertisement to stand out. It makes it very attractive and very conspicuous. So better quality paper is used in the magazines. Then magazine advertisements have a very long lifespan, because unlike newspapers we read and we put it in the stack. and most of the time we discard them. Okay, but magazines, we retain the magazines, and whenever we are free, we just run through, or we just glance through the pages, we look through the pages, and the umpteen number of time we see the we go through the magazine. Okay, that many times we come across the advertisement, so that leaves an impact on the mind and persuades us to buy the product. So the advertisements published in the, or released in the printed in the magazines, they have a very long lifespan, and there is more selectivity. Why more selectivity? Because there are different types of magazines that are printed. Okay, we have business magazine, there are women's magazine, there are magazines for kids. Okay, so every target market has a magazine, and they have a special magazine for themselves. So accordingly, depending on the product, depending on the target market, who's using the product, okay, the product can be advertised in that magazine. Okay, so there is selectivity here, but it lacks flexibility. Okay, now in the newspaper, as I have already said, messages can be altered. Every week, if your finances permit, every week you can change the message. There is flexibility. It's not possible here because magazines are printed fortnightly, quarterly, or half yearly, or yearly, monthly also. So you have to wait for the next edition. Okay, so the messages are not flexible. Then small circulation, because the target market is very small. Okay, women's magazines, they are usually read by women. Alright, so the products that are advertised in the women's magazine, it is only seen and read by that target market. We have business magazines. So producer goods are advertised in the business magazines. So other audiences will not be able to know about. They won't be aware of those products. So that is why circulation is of magazine is small. Okay, and then it is much more costlier than the newspaper advertising. Okay, now so this is all about the print media. Now we have the next is the audio visual. Alright, audio visual, we have radio, television, cinema. Okay, now let us check out the advantages and the limitations of radio advertising. Now, radio is an appropriate medium to approach the illiterate people, especially in the rural India. Okay, now newspapers, magazines are of no use to them. Somehow the companies want to sell their products, or they don't want to limit their products or sell their products only to the people living in the urban areas, but they also want the rural people to participate in the sales. So radio is the right medium for that, to approach to the illiterate people. Now memorizing value. Okay, now most of the time the advertisement that are broadcasted, okay, that are broadcasted on or air on the radio, they are viewed, okay, they are perceived as as a part of entertainment. Okay, people find them very entertaining, like washing powder Nirma. Okay, people even hum it. Okay, people even hum it, not realizing that it is an advertisement. Alright, so that's how it is. So it has a very high memorizing value. Whenever you listen, okay, when you listen to the advertisement, you tend to remember it for a very long period of time. There is selectivity and there is flexibility also. You can keep changing your messages every time, okay, time and again, whenever you feel like changing it. And selectivity in the sense, again, you have to decide the type of product, where it is used, how it is used. Okay, a local product for that matter. You can, or a product which is widely used in a particular region. Like for example, your sambar masala, it is used in South India. Okay, so that can be advertised through radio. So any brand of sambar masala can be advertised in that region through radios. Okay, so there is selectivity, there is flexibility because you can change it. Repetitions are possible. You can keep repeating it. Understood? Okay, you can keep repeating it. And then now limitations, it lacks clarity because many a times, especially it depends on the weather conditions. Okay, if the weather is bad, then there can be too much of disturbance, and the advertisement or the message is not audible to to the consumer. Okay, it is not audible to the consumer, so that there could be, so that lacks, so lack of clarity is one important limitation. And again, short life. I just mentioned to you that radio advertising, all right, it is always perceived as a, what shall I say? It is always perceived as part of entertainment. Okay, people find it very, very entertaining, so they enjoy the advertisement. Okay, they listen to it as though they are listening to a song. So the lifespan of radio advertisement is very, very short, and it is costlier. Okay, compared to newspaper or print media, radio advertising is costlier. Then next is television, which is one of the best medium, okay, to advertise the product. It is very, very convenient because everyone has a television set at home in the comforts of our home. It is widely used, and there is high degree of persuasion because of frequency of repetition. You must have seen, sometimes we get fed up. The same product we have to see several times. Alright, it is done deliberately to leave an impact on the mind of the consumer and persuade the consumer to buy the product. Alright, so that repetition is there. And now, as far as limitations are concerned, television advertisements are very, very costly. Especially the prime time advertisement is extremely expensive. Okay, prime time advertisement meaning when advertisements are played during the, like in between or before or after a popular program on television. Alright, so these are some of the limitations of television. Now cinema is the next important audiovisual medium. Okay, we all go to the theaters, okay, to watch movies, right? Now, what are the important advantages of cinema advertisement? They are very effective. You can see it on the screen, so that effectiveness is there. There is selectivity because cinema, this medium can be widely used by local producers, because people from that locality, they are going to the multiplex to watch the movie, so they can obviously advertise their product. That's a nice platform they have to advertise their product. So selectivity is there. Okay, but cinema advertising has more, the limitations outnumber the benefits. Okay, as far as cinema advertising is concerned, the message goes, message is a complete waste. Because when these messages or ad copies are flashing on the silver screen, we are all settling ourselves. Okay, so what happens? We are ignoring the message. We are not listening to that. Okay, secondly, it lacks flexibility. Because you cannot, a local producer for that matter, it is beyond his affordability to keep changing the message at the drop of the hat. Okay, so the messages continue to remain the same. You cannot alter them time and again. Okay, at the drop of the hat you cannot change them. So they continue to remain the same. They are same monotonous, and that's how the monotony creeps in. Okay. So then next is timeliness. It lacks flexibility and timeliness. As I have said, they are not flexible. Timeliness in the sense, during winter season we can see advertisements of rainwear, okay, raincoats or umbrellas. Okay, so the advertisement is not actually matching with the time. Okay, at that time during winter season they should advertise thermal wears or woolen clothes, something like that. It should match with the situation. Okay, the season rather. So there is no timeliness. Anything is advertised erratically, we can say, and very, very expensive. So this is all about your audio visuals. Then let's talk about the murals or outdoor advertising. So under murals, now before we will talk about different types of mural advertising later, but let me just draw your attention to advantages and disadvantages first. Okay, they are very attractive. Hoardings, now here, hoardings, banners, posters, billboards, neon signs. Alright, these are all mural or outdoor advertising mediums. Okay, now hoardings are very attractive. Now we see hoardings, we see billboards, we have seen neon signs. They are very eye-catching, isn't it? Okay, so they are very attractive. Then there is flexibility and selectivity. Okay, you can keep changing the message. Okay, then you can keep changing the message. And again, selectivity. You can select what product to be advertised when. Alright, local product or a consumer durable which is widely this demanded in the market, whatever it is. So there is selectivity. Again, you can select the place because banners and hoardings are put up in a busy place where people where there is lot of movement of people, so that it can attract the attention and convince the people to buy that product. Fine. So there is flexibility, then timeliness and repetition. Okay, messages can be repeated time and again. Timeliness in the sense the message which is displayed on the hoarding, it is matching with the time which is prevalent or which is persisting at that period of time. Like during festivities. Okay, during festivities, products like jewelry, like any commodity, any goods, any product which is usually gifted, which people gift each other. These products can put up their hoardings, like jewelry for example, or your laptops, any electronic items, the gadgets that we use in our day-to-day life, the cookwares. Okay, so the producers of these products, they can put up their, or retailers also, distributors, they can put up these hoardings in the busy places. So timeliness, you can keep changing the hoardings or banners or posters to match the time. Okay, it has to go with the flow of the time. Okay, so that is possible over here. And then reminder. Okay, it reminds people, because whenever we like we are walking in that area or we are driving, we see the hoarding, it reminds us that yes, this product is there in the market, I should try it. Okay, and there is a lot of scope for art in the mural advertising, because you can make it very, very impressive by using a lot of color, lovely pictures, isn't it? You have seen hoardings and banners. Alright, so these are advantages of outdoor. Now again, there are lot of limitations here. The most important thing is distraction. Okay, like drivers, especially when people are caught up in a traffic, or they are driving and suddenly they see an attractive, very impressive hoarding, they get distracted and any mishap can take place. And it has happened so many times. Fatal accidents have occurred because the driver got distracted by the beautiful hoarding. Alright, so distraction, then the message is not complete. You can see only one tagline, and that tagline sometimes is not clear. Okay, people don't understand what the producer is trying to say. So message is incomplete here, and low retention. Okay, usually radio advertisements or mural advertisement, people only take it as a means of entertainment. Okay, people find them very entertaining, they just admire it, but they don't realize that hoarding is trying to convey a message to them. Okay, they only see the color, the beautiful color, the pictures, they only admire, they only have admiration. So the admiration for the advertisement, but they don't realize that it's a message, and we have to pay attention to that. Alright, so that is why low retention and temporary appeal. It's just momentary, you see it, you admire it, okay, and then you forget about it. So these are some of the disadvantages of your mural advertising. Now let us just go through this. I have already told you different types of mural advertising. We have posters, banners, hoardings, billboards, neon signs. Now some more to write. Wall writing, which is banned now. Okay, you cannot write anything on the public property, walls of the public property, because they are public property. Then sandwich men. Sandwich men are quite common in Mumbai. Okay, especially in Dharavi areas known for, so they have these small businesses where they manufacture detergent powders, BDs, whatever, small items are produced. Now these small producers, they don't have the capacity or affordability to advertise on a proper media, they cannot print their advertisement in the newspapers. Alright, or they cannot choose television as their medium of advertisement. So they employ a person. Okay, and he dresses like a joker or a jester. He wears something, with lot of, I'm going to say his clothing, his attire, it has pockets all over. Okay, and those pockets are filled with these products, and he just moves around in the locality shouting slogans. So this is how the sandwich man is used to promote the sale. Then skywriting, you have seen those, these airplanes. they emit certain gases, and with that gas they write. Okay, they write the name of the product, like McDowell's for example. They write the name in the sky. So this is catching up in India. It's quite common in the Western world. And then transit advertising. On BST buses, on Kadamba buses, we have seen advertisements being displayed. Alright, so even these, these are, what shall I say, they are very distractive. Okay, they can distract a person. Like for example, a pedestrian, he's walking and suddenly he comes across a beautiful advertisement on the bus. He is totally distracted. He can meet with any mishap. Alright, so these are the various types of murals or outdoor advertising. Now direct mail, you have your circulars, catalogs, brochures, sales letters and pamphlets. Okay, now direct mail advantages are there is lot of selectivity. Okay, this is basically non-conventional products. Books, ideal for books. Reader's Digest, I can only cite an example of Reader's Digest here. Okay, the message is very selective. Then economical, it is very economical, because Reader's Digest, you must have seen that whenever they are contemplating to publish, to come up with a new publication, they will send you all the details in your subscribed copy. Alright, so it is pretty economical. Timeliness is there, repetition is possible. Okay, at the right time, especially when Diwali is around the corner, they might come with some literature, okay, that will highlight the celebration of Diwali in various parts of the country, so on and so forth. So there is timeliness. They try to match the literature with the time, and messages can be repeated time and again. Time and again here. Then personal appeal. People like the readers, for example, as far as the Reader's Digest is concerned, okay, readers feel very comfortable. They feel as though they are sharing some common bond with the publishers. Okay, so that personal appeal is their secrecy. They did not share it with anyone else. Okay, they did not share it with anyone else. They can just keep their ideas to themselves and to their users. Alright. Now, disadvantages are limited coverage. That means only few people subscribe Reader's Digest, and only that many people will come across the advertisement. Okay, and not the masses at large. It is not suitable. Direct mail is not suitable for all types of products, especially products that are very fragile, like glass for that matter. Okay, it is not ideal for them. Now direct mail today, it has been replaced by online. Okay, so we have Amazon and Flipkart to cater to us today. Alright, and then again for direct mail, a lot of efforts are needed, and sometimes these efforts go waste. So these are some of the limitations and the advantages of the media. Okay, of the media. So we come to an end of this session today. Goodbye.